back with KMMA. I'm Andio.
I'm Khalil Deal.
And it's right now that we're going to be bringing you our main card portion of our famous Face-Off show, final Face-Off show, where we take one more look at these animals before they get into the cage. Real deal. You still got Mohamed Nemov here against Bogdan Grad?
Yeah, man, listen, I am going to say this, though. This fight is going to be close. It's going to be a banger of a fight. It should be very close, action-packed fight here. But yes, I'm still going to go with Mohamed Naimov. Again, looking at the face-offs here, Bogdan Grad came in great shape. So did Mohamed Naimov. I liked a little bit of the height advantage here for Mohamed Naimov. I like that he's a bit taller there. He's also very muscular and built and ripped. Bogdan is in great shape as well. I have to give it to him. They both look phenomenal. But I got to give the lean to Mohamed Naimov, man. I just think he's going to do a little bit more than Bogdan Grad. I think the crowd's going to be more on Mohamed's side here. And I think that if it goes to a decision, they'll give it to Mohamed. He's got the power to get the knockout as well. So I'm going to go with Mohamed Naimov winning this one by knockout or decision. I think it's going to be a scrappy fight, but Bogdan Grad leaves himself open sometimes, man, to get hit, man. And I think that's where Mohamed's going to be able to crack him a couple of good knocks, good punches, and hurt him. And if it goes to the judges' scorecards, there they'll give it to Mohamed. So give me Mohamed Naimov knockout decision here.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to call Grad here for my dog of the week, but by knockout or decision, because I feel he should be looking to get that knockout too, rather than leave it in these judges' hands here. I just think Grad's going to get in his face from the get-go to prevent Nemov to get his kicks going. But you're right. I think this will be a banger, and I think Grad is actually going to get hurt in this fight, but he's going to show what a dog he is by coming back later in the fight and surprising Nemov with his toughness and the fact that Nemov couldn't even put him away despite cheating like 2 times before that, like against the fence, maybe a fence grab and possibly even a groin shot there by Nemov to give himself a few minutes to breathe later in the fight. So give me Bogdan Grad to overcome all of that with a knockout or decision.
All right, so we are in disagreement still with this one here, the first fight of the main card. Let's move on up to the next fight. We got Nazim Sadikov versus Nicholas Mota.
Yeah, here I'm going to have to still stick with Sadikov. I feel sure Mota has the puncher's chance in this fight. If it gets a little ugly and if it gets in boxing range, Mota's always a threat. But I think Sadikov's just better overall. Nice combos and the better grappler for sure. So give me Sadikov by decision or submission.
Yeah, I definitely don't think this fight goes to decision, man. I think this is going to be a banger of a fight, another exciting fight where somebody's getting knocked out or subbed for sure. Looking at the face-offs here, both of these guys in phenomenal shape. Mota, very good shape. Sadikov as well. Both these guys are pretty ripped. I think that Nicholas Mota's got a little bit of size on him, just a little bit thicker and a little bit more muscular than Sadikov. Sadikov is also very lean and ripped as well and muscular, but Mota is just a little bit in better physical shape. He's also a tiny bit taller. But I noticed in the face-offs, man, this guy's smiling and laughing, and he was talking a whole bunch of stuff, jumping up and down. He's very excited, very hyped. And, Sadikov looks a bit more serious there. Of course, you see a little grin there because obviously Mota's been laughing it up and smiling there that Sadikov had to put a little grin on there. But he's more serious about this fight. And I think he's just got more skills than Mota. Mota's a one-trick pony here. He only has the knockout power. He's more of a boxer striker, whereas Sadikov can mix it up with grappling, wrestling. He's got submissions, jiu-jitsu, and he's also a very good striker. So give me Nazim Sadikov to win this one by knockout or submission, I'm calling here. I do not think this fight goes the distance. All right, moving on up to the next fight. We got Miktabek Oralbai against Tofik Musayev. For this one here, man, both of these guys in great physical shape. Masayev, though, man, looking ripped, muscular. He's in really, really, really good shape, which kind of got me worried a little bit. But Miktabai is also in good shape too, man. He's also ripped and pretty muscular too, and a little bit taller than Tofik. Well, actually, maybe they're about the same size, but. Yeah, I got to go with Miktabek just because he's got more experience in the UFC. I mean, this guy, Tofik, is from Azerbaijan, but if Oralbai does not let this get to the judges' scorecards, he has a very good chance of winning this one. I do worry, though, if it goes to the judges' scorecards, if they pull a robbery there with those crooked, corrupt judges and give it to Tofik Musayev, but I think that Oralbai will do enough damage to get the job done. And I'm going to call Miktabek to win by finish. I say he wins by knockout or submission, doesn't let it get to the judges' scorecards, and fucks this guy up, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with oral by submission or decision here also. Although look for that sub because I think he will apply his wrestling and really wear on Masayev here. If it stays a pure striking match and Masayev has his space, I think it won't be the best plan for Olabai here. Although Olabai's striking is improving, and also his UFC experience, I think he's proven that he can come out looking good in wars, and he's tough as nails also. And also, he seems to have a stylistic version of that traditional hat there that he's wearing today. So, got to give him credit for that, I guess. And yeah, so give me sub or decision for Oralbai.
All right, so we're in agreement with this one here. Let's move on up to the next fight here. We have Curtis Blades versus Rizvan Kuniev here.
Yeah, Kuniev here looks like a thick guy, man. Like he seems
Yeah.
like a big guy, man. I'm with a lot of power there. But yeah, I think Blades. I think just the experience and the fact that he's a better pure wrestler. I think the fact that he's better on the feet, although he shouldn't love the feet so much. Uh, I think he just could you say outclasses Kuniev in this fight for heavyweights? That's the best way I can put it, I guess. I don't think Kuniev's just going to trap Blades against the fence forever and hold him there the whole time, unless he gets him down right away and delivers crazy ground and pound. Um, Blades, though, he's lost only to the best, as we always say. These best have all knocked him out. He's been knocked out 5 times. So this is a case where if Kuniev knocks out Blades, which will be the 6th time, will Kuniev be one of the best? Or will it show that, hey, maybe Blades is on the downslope here, getting knocked out for the 6th time by a subpar guy? But I have faith in Blades here. I expect him to use timely wrestling and timely striking, but not overdo it with the striking, and put away Kuniev by knockout or decision.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Curtis Blades here to get the win. Yeah, man, this guy Kuniev is fucking pretty big. He's super thick, pretty big, a little chunky around the stomach area though, but he's a big guy. Blades is way more in better shape. He's more muscular, more ripped, more built, of course. But I do worry about that chin of Blades, man. I do worry about Kuniev hitting him with all of his, if he uses all his body weight into his punches and puts all his body into his punches, it could be a really hard punch. And if he does get Blades down and gets on top and then does the ground and pound, it could be a problem for Blades where he could get knocked out. So very worried about that, but I will still stick with Curtis Blades here to get the win. And I think he wins by knockout or decision as well. I think he could also, he's got a lot of knockouts. He's got some power too. I think he could also knock out Kuniev. He could also use his wrestling and get on top of Kuniev as well and use ground and pound. And also he could win a decision if he keeps this fight, if he keeps from getting knocked out. So give me Curtis Blades also by knockout or decision here. So we're still in agreement with Curtis Blades. Now let's move on up to the next fight here, the co-main event of the evening. We got Rafael Fiziev against Ignacio Bahamondes. Man, this is another one where I was going back and forth. Like I was super hyped about this fight, and I was confident in Ignacio Bahamondes here. But now, I'm not so confident anymore. I'm going to stick with Ignacio Bahamondes, but I'm not as confident as I was before. I think he'll get the finish. What I did notice, though, is that obviously the height and reach advantage goes to Bahamondes, and it's significant, man. It's you can see he's way taller than Fiziev here, and his reach advantage there. It's a good 4 inches of reach advantage there, and I think that. What I did notice, though, is that Bahamondes, in his since he's been in the UFC, he only had one decision win. He got the finish on Jalen Turner, the finish on Manuel Torres, the finish on Christos Giagos. He only got a decision against Trey Ogden, and then also he got a finish against Rong Zhu, and a finish against Roosevelt Roberts. So he's been knocking out and submitting everyone in the UFC except for that one decision. I'm going to go with Bahamondes to win by KO or submission. I think he gets the finish here on Fiziev, and I think he has to, because if this goes to the decision, Fiziev, man, being from Azerbaijan, I made a mistake, by the way, in the early predictions. Fiziev, his father is from Azerbaijan, so he's half Azerbaijan, half Kazakhstan, mixed there. So the fans will be going crazy. He was born in Kazakhstan, but he does have nationality being Azerbaijan. So a lot of he's representing Azerbaijan. So a lot of the fans are going to go for this guy. So I do not want this fight to go to decision. I need a Bahamondes to get the finish here for him to win. I think he can do it. So give me Bahamondes by finish.
Yeah. No, I never had extreme faith in Bahamondes either for this pick, because this fight I think is going to be a banger and very close, and it can go either way. I think they'd call this fight right for some reason, but I don't know, I got my issues with a lot of things on this card. But yeah, I'm still sticking with Bahamondes here. I think he's more well-rounded, I guess you can say, because he has more of a sub game and more of a ground game as well. But these guys are going to come at each other. Bahamondes loves to get in there also. So he's not going to do himself any favors by kind of like just purely sticking to a kickboxing range kind of battle here, because he doesn't really like that. And Fiziev's going to be coming at him too much for him to be able to do that. So I expect Bahamondes to squeak this one out by, it's very hard to tell why, but I'm just going to go with knockout or decision.
All right, so we're in agreement with Bahamondes.
Because he does have a lot of finishes.
He does.
Regardless of where they are, so.
And with those long limbs, I think he could latch in a submission on Fiziev.
It's possible, yeah.
All right, so let's get to the main event of the evening. Please hit that like button, subscribe, comment for the algorithm. We got Jamahal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree.
Yeah, I gotta stick with Khalil Roundtree. Only because I think he's looked better. I think Jamal Hill, he's been knocked out a couple times and he hasn't looked as good, I don't think, as Khalil Roundtree, especially with that performance against Pereira. Now, normally I'm on the side of people who go, don't give the guy too much credit after a loss. But in this case, I think it really helped Khalil Roundtree with his confidence. The guy's a real crier, and he's in a cult and all of that. And I think, now that he's in this cult, that loss kind of like, and the performance he had, they all came together and made him like super confident Roundtree. So yeah, I think that benefited him. And I just think he's gonna. I have a feeling he's gonna win this fight. I don't think either of these guys are top tier heavyweights. You're gonna see how Jamal Hill's gonna drop down in the way people think of him if Khalil Roundtree wins here, because it'll be his third loss in a row. And yeah, man, I think all Khalil Roundtree needs is to have a good cry in the locker room before he comes out, and stun him with those kicks there, because I'm sure some of those kicks will find their way home with a ploddy Jamal Hill, who doesn't have good footwork to begin with. So give me Khalil Roundtree for the knockout or decision.
All right, so for this one here, man, I gotta say in the face-offs, man. First thing, Jamal Hill came out there, and he is not in the best of physical shape, but a lot of times he isn't in amazing physical shape. He just looks very basic. He has a bit of a belly there, a little bit of a beer belly there, uh,
Yeah, the
and
belly came back.
yeah, the rest of him is slim, but he's got that little belly. He's not as in physical great shape as Khalil Roundtree. Khalil Roundtree is in phenomenal shape. He's thicker, he's bigger, way more muscular and more ripped. He's got crazy abs, and he looks in phenomenal shape. He looks super strong. I noticed this in the face-off though. Jamal Hill was non-stop talking shit,
Yeah,
non-stop talking shit the whole time. Khalil Roundtree stayed calm. He just has that smile there, just smiling at him as Jamal Hill is Jamal Hill. By the way, somebody in the comments said I said his name wrong, so Jamal Hill. My bad. Khalil Roundtree definitely is way more calm and poised here, whereas Jamal Hill is just talking shit the whole time. I think that's going to be to his detriment, man. I think Khalil Roundtree is going to come out here and get the win, man. I think he knocks out Jamal Hill or wins a decision, man. I'm not going to go against the guy that has my name. I'm sticking with Khalil Roundtree to win this one here and get the job done. But just to tell you guys, the odds have shifted. It's now at pick'em odds. Both of these guys are at pick'em odds, so money was coming in on Jamal Hill. That's why I told you guys in the early predictions, if you're on the Jamal Hill side, to get him early at dog odds. Now he's even money now. So we'll see what happens here. So there you have it, folks. Our final thoughts, predictions, and face-offs for the main card. Stay tuned for official bets coming up next.
good night, baby.
Peace out, folks.